In this episode, I'm going to dive into link marketing and share just one tidbit that can make such a big difference in your business. Come listen.
Welcome to the Behind Her Brand podcast with your host, Kimberly Spencer. Every week, join Kimberly and her guest for inspiring interviews with passionate business builders, corporate leaders, and catalysts of change. Plus, we will be sharing business and career building strategies and tools that you can use to grow. So let's dive into today's episode.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Behind Her Brand podcast. I am your host, Kimberly Spencer. And if you are new here, welcome. I am so glad always when we get new people following us and sharing with us and just letting us know what's been helpful for them, because it helps us so much when we hear from you. So I appreciate each of you being here and taking time to listen to this podcast. Today's going to be short and sweet, but also very impactful. Okay. I wanted to talk to you about what I call a new form of networking and give you a different perspective that hopefully will allow you to stretch your content a little bit more. What I find often is when I'm hearing different conversations with people is you feel like you're doing all these things. You're being interviewed on all these platforms, whether it's through YouTube, live, podcasts, you're writing for all these publications and blogs, etc., print, live, media, electronic, all the things. And you're not finding that it's driving any traffic to you. You're not finding that people are really reaching out to you. And it almost kind of feels like you're running out of steam, right? Like, how can I keep creating so much stuff and I'm not getting what I need from it? So first and foremost, I want to give you another avenue to potentially pursue and to consider, but I also want to make sure I do a couple quick housekeeping things. Check your website first and foremost and see if you're listing everything that you're doing. If you don't have a media section or something along the lines, however you want to choose to word it, and you don't have your podcast that you're being interviewed for listed on there, or publications you're writing for listed on there and link back to those respective podcast pages, do that today, okay? Here's the thing. You can be interviewed by 10 different people on their platforms. Most people don't take down their podcasts, not in the media, I should say. You want to make sure that you're linking to that page. You want to make sure that when people pull you up, they can see all the different things that you're doing. That will help create your searchability, okay? I find so often people don't do that actually. And you also want to make sure your titles are all consistent. If I'm going to search for someone who is an expert in cultural diversity and they speak on cultural diversity activities, I would say that, and your podcast spoke to that, if that's an area of your expertise, make sure that's in your title. Make sure the things that you are expert in, whether it's in the title or in the body of the content, make sure it's sprinkled throughout because you want to be searchable. Okay. I even hashtag my name because sometimes people will spell my last name wrong or what have you. So I make sure that I spell it in different avenues and people can find me. If you Google me right now, you're going to find Joy Chudakoff's podcast, for example. You'll see that I was on her podcast, but it's also linked to my page and it's also linked on her page. So just by Googling my name, it popped up on the first page of searches. That's why it's important to link to the respective places that you're writing for, interviewing for. So that's first and foremost. Now, here's a very quick tool that you can utilize, and it's very helpful, not just for you, but for those who are going to be involved. People love content they can share. People love resources. People love lists. People love to be able to say, you know what, so-and-so recommended this, it must be good. Whenever people love the information that you're sharing, they love to obviously refer it out to people, right? So consider doing what I call a roundup type of blog or post. What I do every quarter is I round up different women that I'm working with or different women that I just know, period. And I share like one or two sentences about them and their respective website links. And this post gets so much great reach. Now, how does it benefit me? Or how does it benefit them too? It benefits all of us in a number of different ways. I'll do a post and typically I'll have between 8 to 10 women listed on there. Okay. And I tag them all. And I'm not a big person that tags a ton of people. But when I do these different posts, I know the women that I'm tagging are so incredibly supportive that they're going to put it on their respective timelines. That puts me before their audience. It puts the other ladies that are listed before their audiences. And you never know who's going to see it. I have seen people get interviews, honestly, from media because someone said, oh, I saw you on so-and-so's blog. I've seen people even get orders on their website because someone said, oh my gosh, I've been looking for someone just like this, or I really want to try what this tastes like, depending on what the offering is. The whole key and point is that when you do that, you guys are all co-sharing links to your respective pages. And when people go to your pages, obviously they're going to be connected to the different things that you are doing. Now, this can work for websites, or you can link all their podcast pages. You can link all their social media, whatever you want to link. The point is, linking can help create a really creative networking surge, because people love to learn about different resources. They love lists. They love seeing this type of information. So the reason why I said early on that this works for any industry, because it does. If you're a doctor, you can list physicians or people physicians or people that you're connected to that you would refer your patients to. If you're a wellness contributor, a wellness instructor, a wellness writer, you may list information with different people who create great menus, people that have great classes and workout programs, whatever it might be. Listing all these different resources also shows sorry about it, trying to get the word out, shows people about your respective connections as well. This is awesome for linking. It's also for connecting. It's awesome for getting in front of new audiences. So I want to encourage you to consider doing that. You don't have to do it every week. You can do it literally once a quarter, once a month, once a year, whatever fits you. But I want to encourage you to do that. Another side of this too is, if you're someone that's really trying to build in your local area, do the same thing with local businesses. And I'm a big believer in supporting small businesses. This is a great way to give them exposure as well. And then they're going to obviously reshare what you posted onto their respective pages. And it's a great way to even build community locally. So consider doing the roundup post. And as I mentioned to you, this is very short and sweet, but just try this. I would love to hear some feedback from it. And let me add one more small piece to this. And this is very important. Put on your calendar where you check every quarter the links to the places that you have spoken to, okay? You want to make sure that if you're linking to another platform, that they haven't taken down your respective video or audio or your information. There's nothing worse than seeing on your page a list of amazing resources and places that you've spoken to, and then you click on it and that it goes nowhere. You want to make sure that all your links are active, current, and they're still, the information is still available. But I want to encourage you, please try this roundup method. It is so supportive of other people in your respective industry. You'll find that you'll get added to lists as well. You'll find that you'll be in front of new audiences, and more importantly, you'll find that it's a great way to co-support your local business group. It's just a great way to do that. So if you have any questions on this, let me know. Like I said, this is a very short and simple one. I think it's a really great strategy to really and truly create more leverage with your content. And let me, I know I keep adding one more little thing. You can tell I love this option. It doesn't have to, like I said, just be social media or your Facebook. It can be even your podcast. It can be links to the respective blogs. Whatever it is, consider doing this. It's a great way to create more leverage to the content that you're creating and that you're sharing. Thank you for listening for our Behind Her Brand podcast. And I want to encourage each of you, if you're new, I would love to invite you to our website. It's www.behindherbrand.net. If you have been to our platform and you've been listening to our podcast for quite some time, I would absolutely love feedback, but also I would love your reviews. I would love to see if this is helpful to you. And if it is, we'd love for you to share that with us. Thank you again for joining us, and you have the most amazing day.